You soulful soldiers of a cynical society, when will your voices leap out of those dusty pages and cause a rampage of change? Yes, we know the past left our hearts rotting in that dirty cage. But I refuse to choose between compromise and mental bondage, especially in this time of self-rage. I pray to be the best among shadows that linger in the darkest corners of my forest, because lately it has become too politically correct for me to breathe. Though sunshine can sometimes recite music through poetry, and I am the musician with no visa petition, and so my image was denied. So back to the future I trot, in search of honesty and sincerity, because nowadays, my Africa, nowadays our days are enslaved by thought. But how do I carry darkness back to my house? How do I carry darkness back to my house? Because home is love and light. And so in the present I must remain, cleansing our cows of this normal insanity. It has become literally pathetic to exist. And so we must cleanse our cows from this normal insanity. You know? And listen. Muke madi ki botlhoko. Lefatshe ke metsi ma Afrika. Metsi ke botshelo. Botshelo ke lusu. Gae. Badimo ba yo riwe ko amaskral. Death is for the living, and the kind are not always giving. A preacher wears a white-collar crime, claiming a step better of time, utters blood money is for the sinning, and the poor rich lady who clusters her face with a different taste of ignorance expects us to be forgiving. As a child, I learned how to walk the night to sleep, listen when it speaks, clutching its teeth, breathing heavily down my ear while hope dances on fear, swiftly moving her legs on lips torn by a barren ear. How dare you romanticize poverty like it's hip to be poor? Like it's hip to be without water. Do you know how they survive the tidal wave of life as it blows a child's dream at the age of 5? Children of gold, born of silver spoons, stand on cosmetic podiums talking about their golden future. When I grow up, I want to be a movie star, a firefighter, a lawyer, maybe a doctor. But a child nurtured by depression aspires to grow up and put food on the table. While the mother breaks her back, the father takes a break from all the hustle. And this man who dresses in depression wears dust on his face and pushes a trolley across home filled with struggle. Yet ghosts of the day choose to ignore this. And so they curse. with the same tongue that speaketh the Bible verse, hiding a mischievous identity with a uniform in church while thinking, when is it going to end? Who got shot? Who shot when he was young? I said, so was sleeping with my neighbor's daughter and you know what? With that dingy smelly corner. Look at them. Look at them as they twirl and intertwine with turning tables of time down into pressure with empty black bottles of liquor. It's not fun receiving residues of the sun, tasting bitter on the tongue that spoke the night to infinity. Because in the night, in the night, we dance with the Muno Calypso styles, between the black and white lines of the times. The Russian teaches about the politician that preaches fabricated lies of how the sun survives the night in a home filled with failure. Heaven reflecting from a boy looking at the world from a fragmented mirror. Wow. And the sply sister who flips section wings to liquor calls her father husband. In 94, we stepped down a modern institution wearing an armband. Trees on church, planted and hate. Echo, hold on. While my grandmother whispers tales of moving on. Move on, my son, she keeps on saying, while paying rent.
Yes.
To today's hard living. Because in these Jabulani streets, in these streets, wounded by depression, perseverance, Nana, and hard work is what it takes to survive the sharp blade of this ghetto. Of this overworked and underpaid ghetto. Of children getting shut down in the name of a promise of free education ghetto. Of people getting shut out of life in the name of ghetto. This ghetto I call home. In the dark it was written and through light it must be spoken. In the dark it was written and through light it must be spoken. Yes. Where is the Khalakha in our parliament? And not that coat of arms with that stolen arms code, but the sand of defiance that used to live on Sir Rupert's feet. Yes. Where is that rhythm of change that lived in Tiro's heartbeat? And I as a youth, I as a poor youth questions, where are the statues of our forgotten heroes in the dingy corners of our ghettos? Because our cities and our goddamn towns are saturated with the past dark shadows. Whose heritage is this? Am I forced to be fond of? What do you expect me to do? Celebrate Queen Elizabeth? What do you expect me to do, Mafrika? Pry my heritage away? And out of all this rubbish, Nana, out of all this madness, a voice of reason shouts. We need our own to look up to, Mafrika. We need our own to look up to, because sons and daughters of the green, black sea, me in you, no sea, no free. A time of greed and expectation, see them bleed of desperation. In the dark it was written, and through light it must be spoken. It must be spoken that our liberation was born out of fear. For how long will the struggle continue to compromise while freedom whispers false light in our ears? Believe me when I tell you, Ma Africa, poverty and AIDS will be some child's Christmas gift this year. In the dark it was written, and through light it must be spoken. The junkie poet of deeds from love, the humble, presentable president resigns from the truth and denies us the constitutional right. Why should the human heart feed off corruption? Listen to the white elephant crying to me and you, singing Chimurenga and the blues in search of food and any pair of shoes. Because children born of pride are getting lost in their own colors of pride. In the dark it was written, Mafrika. In the dark it was written, and through light it must be spoken. Man walks out on his family for another man, while mother murders her feelings trying to understand, and their children bury their anger with beach sand. How crooked was the hand that wrote you that love letter, my sister? But I, as a sinner, will tell you, it will get better. Just believe when grandmother echoes out next to Lang Chapelo, Mudimu Panabalo. In my country, education is dangerous. Higher learning guns shoot young chunks with curriculum they cannot afford. Uniforms, blue orders, shamelessly tear gas rings, and barricade innocent pages with barbed wires of rage. I can put in. Do people who wield power have children too? And do their children also swallow the same juice? Or is it a different juice? Is it black tax? Or is it just black sex? What is it that makes these people free to shoot and kill innocent bystanders, asking for something that they were promised in the beginning? For how long will the People's Party continue to pocket the parliament and pretend economic freedom is Mandela's face on the rand? Education is a product of culture, Matele once said. Who is really tilling this expensive culture? Who is really tilling the soil? How can these people continue to pretend that freedom or democracy, whatever the fuck you want to call it, without ownership of land? Without land, what is liberation?
What is it?
I feel like the only black on our flag, isolated and stifled by other colors, because in my country, even my skin is illiterate.
Yes.
Down Sokolong,
Yeah.
down Sokolong, Banaba Sikolo, down Sokolong, Udvati Biala, Uma Mina. Sure, remember I'm African. Yeah, that was a mouthful. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if it's in the house. Okay, let's make it a little bit more relatable. Because not all of us agree with the politics of politics. The politics of politicking. So this is Flowers of a Broken Smile. This is my third book. And I've got my books here, by the way. So you can get them for 100 Rand each, which is yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not that bad, man. I mean, how can I keep whiskey? It's a lot of whiskey, really. This one you get to keep, it doesn't end. Come back to the whiskey. So, all right. So, I thought I was going to do this, by the way. There's nothing as relatable, man, as love, and falling out of love too. But I want to know if maybe I don't know about women here, who've been in this kind of a situation. Maybe Clarissa will know if Clarissa knows, because Clarissa is a fucking poet. He must have been through this shit, All right. So this poem is called "Spend the Night with Me." Right? So, my friends, among Kenya, okay, sure. Hey, punches up, spend the night with me, take.
Okay, so the title is based from the King SWV song.
Okay.
Oh, okay, it's so basic, it's not ring. What can I say? Can we get freaky tonight? Song jumps out of her car system and cuts tension with a feather. She looks at me with her heart while her eyes watch the road. My eyes cannot look away from pointing nipples under her top behind the steering wheel. Can we get freaky tonight? The song cries out my love. She knows I want to. I can see she wants to lose herself with me. She wets her lower lip and my wood stops breathing. My wood literally stops breathing. I got so many things on my mind. The song and I are in sync. I look at her with my imagination and wonder how her cake tastes or how her brown birthday suit would fit on mine. The silence in the car is uncontrollable. I'm even sweating, God. Spend the night with me. Spend the night. The song continues to sound my intentions. Home is around the corner. I must drive life into my tongue and grab this moment by the throat. We stop. I rush out to get cigarettes. When I come back, she's on her phone, looks at me, then asks, Mac, where can I drop you off? No time is right time. Perfect time is night time, but on time is now. No time is right time, perfect time is night time, but on time is now. Not 2 minutes before or 2 minutes after, because African time is laughter, especially for Mela time, but black time is time after work. Slaving time in and time out, because time and time again, poets will rhyme for crime just to live in this time. I am sick of now, maybe tomorrow might birth a good time. Though in time, no time is right, but this time, something must give. No parent should grieve. Time heals all wounds except for the footprints on our hearts. Feel like we came too early for this time, because time and time, we're always running on someone's time, forgive me. Family time is dinner time. There were times I'm alone. I was born in a time of capital power, where we do time by the hour just to add taste to our freedom, because ANC politics was turning over time, so stuck in overtime with no time for children, always on a grind, always on a hustle, but there has to be time for you and me, my sister. There has to be time for you and I, love. For love transcends death. For love is the greatest weapon to combat this time of the great morning. What? Give master of the rush. Vamos, yes, yeah. Pasa pela ulomiana, o si habas gotuga, sapasa pela ulelizwe, o si habas gotuga. Mshaba, uyagotuga mshaba. Mshaba wile. The pandemic has existed. There's nothing new about this shit, really, especially when we come to the reality of how art in this country is treated like some kind of a social fucking whatever, right? Really? See how they dance attention into a trance. See how they dance attention into a trance and jazz pain of our hands. Born to wait. Born to wait. Sure that yesterday were bigger than now see the end in their frowns. Look how they steal our crown and treat us like clowns they forgot. And in the past our feet stomped anxiety in their hearts. We sing only to bring classism to a standstill. Listen to the anger in our poems because our music has not been written yet and our history was twisted. In great tolerance on time turns, we are shadows behind the curtains in your shows. Sons and daughters of patience, I respect your friend. You are the everlasting beauty of our spiritual wealth. Walk away from their pressure, your insecurities, because lately words are bad for my health. So forward in the books of history we march as untrained generals of our destiny. By the time I am 30, by the time I am 40, I'll be sick of me. See how they treasure your pain and level your language insane. Passion is mean, Africa. Passion is mean. Passion is hard. And sometimes passion pays no bills. But I refuse to be a machine because they're turning our hearts into poison. Bills for death were doomed at birth. What are you teaching our children? Compromise yourself in a situation? I refuse to choose between compromise and mental bondage. Ha! We are more than names on your page. We are not the ornaments on your doors. We are the untouchable cause of Mali.
Yes!
Pico, Tiro, Hendrix with the
Yes!
the music in your books. Descendant of the Griqua. Rhythm knows my name. The truth about nature is our lives. So it's our nature to be. Our children will not be afraid of art.